So, good day. As we understand after reading the text on coming to be and passing away, we think that there is an idea that came from Aristotle that the other philosopher not agree on him. As a group, we notice some of his idea that they not agreed like on the treatise that he wrote. Other philosophers is confused on his thoughts and based on them it all came from his logic, rhetoric, and topics. Confusion begins only with the applications of Aristotle's rigid definition of his captious criticism of the pre-Socratic and Plato. It was impossible for Aristotle to recognize or admit that extent of his indebtedness to or his agreement with Plato.
Upon reading the literature written by Paul Shorey, which is The Coming to Be and Passing Away, one of the ideas of Aristotle that catch my attention is his ideas about change. Change is often described by Aristotle and his predecessors as coming to be or genesis. That's why Aristotle believed in the reality of qualitative change, which is a fact of experience and a fundamental assumption or continuous change in various aspects of the system that reflects a new stage that is different in quality. It is something that all intelligent modern physicists are aware no juggling or unchangeable atoms or mechanistic theory can explain. He is aware that quality and change of quality are ultimate fact of experience. The distinctive features of Aristotle's definition is that change is complete and may take place all at once when water passes ice or milk into cheese. But the idea of Plato is different from the idea of Aristotle. Plato said that the real things or forms don't change and restricted change to the realm of appearance on the physical world. Also, other philosophers contradicted with the idea of Aristotle that he overlooked the distinction embodied in his terminology, and their utterance were incompatible with their theories of matter if completely thought out. There is in fact no evidence that they had considered the problem of qualitative change very deeply or consistently. They denied in what Aristotle captious criticism about the possibility of creation out of nothing or not the destruction of substance.
Aristotle's philosophy stresses biology instead of mathematics like Plato. He believed the world was made up of individuals or substances occurring in fixed natural kinds or species. Each individual has built-in patterns of development, which help it grow toward becoming a fully developed individual of its kind. All generation, Aristotle repeats, is from opposites. This can only mean opposite qualities, for a permanent substratum is implied in the very fact and definition of change. This potentiality of change is Aristotle's first matter, which he opposes to all pre-Socratic theories and to a very unfair interpretation of Plato's matter and the spectacle of all generation in the Timaeus.
Aristotle dismisses heavy and light, hard and soft, viscid and brittle, rough and smooth, thick and thin as not relevant because they are not involved action and passion. This ingenious scheme saves the phenomena and explains the transmutation of all the elements into one another, including earth, which Plato's system excluded from the cycle of change. Air becomes fire by the substitution of dry for moist. For fire to become water, it must pass through the intermediate stage of air.
So, as an overall idea or conclusion about the topic of coming to be and passing away by Aristotle, so kino-consider pa rin namin na more insightful yung topic na yon ni Aristotle because of his observation. So, natutunan namin or naalala ko yung sinabi ni Douglas Adam na we are surrounded by wonders of technology and science, but could we explain or rebuild it, or would we have to settle for being a sandwich making for the stars? So, on the whole, Aristotle did quite well at the task of discussing how matter comes to be, changes the state of being, and ceases to be. So, yung on coming to be and passing away ni Aristotle constitutes an impressive investigation of the basic building blocks of existence.